We have this property here that's like 15, 16 minutes away from Tamar, the city of Tamar, World Heritage Site. Here's the boundary to help you make more sense of it. The house is between the two ended white lines that you can see, and it boundaries the neighbour and then comes round in a virtual square. So this is essentially the back garden. It's full of olive trees, fruit trees. There's loads of room. There's irrigation running all over the place. So you could have as many vegetable plots, vineyard. The south, north is to the right of the property. South is to the right of the property. So the whole garden and the orchard, which you'll see in a moment, is exposed to the sun all day long, which would explain the quality of the plums. Now you can see, here's the orchard here to the left of the house. So the house is the blue and white. It's a pretty house on a very quiet road. Now here's some maps. It's 20 minutes, 18 minutes to Tomar, the shortest route. An hour and 16 to Lisbon Airport, if you jump on the highway. And an hour and 7 minutes to Nazaré, which is probably your closest beach, if beaches are your thing. So, okay, back to the orchard. The shadow you can see is midday points north, and here's the orchard to the left. The most wonderful plums I think I've ever had in my life. They were just fabulous, and all of the fruit looked great. Now let's go and find Sarah, and she will explain in more detail.
Hello, good morning. Sarah from PPP here again today. So we've got another different property for you. Personally, I adore this house, so I really think someone should come along and buy it. I think somebody else will adore it too. We're starting in the garden. We've got just over 2,500 square metres of land. Everyone wants to know whether you've got your own water, so we're rather randomly starting at the well, just to show you that you've got a very big well. I don't like looking wells, so the camera's going to do that bit. Gives me the EBGBs, but we've got plenty of water there, and the irrigation is set up through the land. So if I go round here, most of the land has been cleared. There's a part which you'll see behind me that hasn't been cleared. It just needs trimming. We've got lots of olive trees where you've actually, can you see the little olives? The olives are coming. I don't know if you can get that close. So they're just coming. I imagine it'll be a good season for olives because we've had a decent amount of rain compared to the last couple of years. See the olives here? Little baby ones. But we've got peach trees, plum trees, we've got vines, and we've got a variety of terraces, but the irrigation goes right up to the house. All sorts of, I'm tripping over, all sorts of different systems, but it's all coming from that well. Obviously we've got a citrus tree here, and as I can't see what Paul's looking, you're looking in that way, so I might as well describe. So the concrete bit, unfortunately that's probably the ugliest part of the property, but that's a carport on top and storage underneath. Watch your foot, you've got it stuck in some, thank you, there you go. Okay, and a garage underneath, car park on top. So there's actually space for 3 cars at the top of there. Then, if we work our way up to the property, is that what you're planning to do? Maybe if you pan right, you can see the different, right, we're both falling over. You can see the different terraces. So down here it's laid out with vines, fruit trees, olive trees. And then as we go up to the house, you can see we've got a proper garden. I love his plants. I want his plants. Lots of shade at the top of the house. Nice covered area. But I'll show you that in a minute. So, maybe I should talk about the location. So, where are we? We are, was it 13 and a half, 15 minutes from Tamar. But we're 1.5 kilometres from a cafe, and actually since the 1.5 mark we went past another cafe, plus a churrasqueira, a chicken takeaway, plus a restaurant. So you really got lots of different facilities around you. I think it was 3.5 kilometres. There's a village which had a pharmacy and a mini market. And then you've got Tamar in 15 minutes.
I mean, I think there's a variety of fruit on the land as well, isn't there?
Yep, there's a pomegranate somewhere, and we've definitely got peach, and we've definitely passed a citrus. We've got nespera, which are kumquats or loquats. I'm not sure which, actually, to be honest. Maybe I need to research that. And yeah, citrus, fig, nespera, peach, pomegranate, plum, grapes. Not sure if they're eating, I'll have to ask if they're eating grapes or wine grapes. Usually wine in Portugal. So you've got a huge variety. The land is nicely looked after, and as you can probably somewhere in the video, you can see that the irrigation is running across the floor and everything's well looked under. So, should we make our way up that way? Right, I'm just going to follow Paul. And he might walk into a fig tree. You might as well get a shot of a fig, darling. All the fruit's coming out. We might as well actually, here we go. This is what people want from Portugal. Fresh fruit in your garden.
I just love fresh figs.
And there's another, this one here, actually. Look at these. You've got more figs than you can shake a stick at. Another citrus here. Not sure what that is. That's some sort of, I don't think there's, there's a compost bin there. Hadn't noticed that before. So, if we come down here, now that's something that's very easy for Paul to fall over. Let's see whether he does or not. Or maybe I should guide him. Yeah, step up. Right, now we're on this lower level, so I'm in the shade. There's a storage room here, so maybe we might as well look at the little mini man cave. That's his workshop. People are always worried about where it's a bit untidy, but just to do a quick shot, Paul falls through the door, of the fact that you've got this storage space. And you may as well just show round. This isn't the prettiest part because it's got building materials here, but you've also got two large storage areas there underneath the concrete. Now obviously if you rendered that and painted white, or paint it the same colour of the house, in fact all this whole wall here, this would be a complete game changer. Now it looks a bit bare down here, but that's because there's so much at the top. You could put a pool here actually, but this is perfect for above ground pool, isn't it? Nice flat area, stairs coming down, perfect. Didn't think of that before. So, right, have you got a shot of the views? We've got a start to see the views, and once we go up the stairs, oh, hang on. Oh no, there's a walnut tree. Come back. Sorry, doggy. Walnuts. Ta-da! Who knew they looked like that? I'm going to find out it's not a walnut in a minute. No, it's definitely a walnut. So they'll be ready right at the end of the summer, autumn time. So coming up here, the boundary is along the wall. Hang on, I'll stand on it. Your boundary's here, and it's a straight line and goes all the way down, just past the big walnut tree where I've been, back to the back of the land, and then the well was on that side. So it's a big plot, perfectly big enough, nicely laid out, lots of different levels, and of course you've got vehicle access down here. If you want to drive down here and park
and use that as a garage,
you can, because it has vehicles in it. So coming up here, we've got a magnolia that hasn't died. Everybody else's magnolias stayed alive. Mine's died. And you can see that there's plenty of parking. for 3 cars. I mean, okay, ours is just switched on. There's another car here, and on top of, well, the carport, you can put another car, or you can drive round. So parking's not an issue at all. Huge pine tree here, gives you plenty of shade. In fact, it gives a lovely amount of shade to the conservatory. There's a breeze, because it's been really hot the last couple of days. So that breeze is beautiful. Ah, you getting in the view? Or are you getting in the tree? The tree.
I suppose they both do this.
You could try and get the view, darling, because you can see really, really far. Oh, that breeze is lovely. You go all the way around. It's really, really nice. And from the front of the house, you've also got a view, long distance view. So if you're coming around here to the right, you get to see the house for the beginning, because so it's painted nicely, blue and white. Now, as you can see, the conservatory here, if you want to, you can open the windows. Walking along this part here, we've come up the stairs, we've got the parking area, got the lovely conservatory. So it's enclosed with windows at the beginning, but they can be opened, and this is open. So what's not to love about this garden? I really want this garden. It's taken years to achieve this. And his plants are always healthy whenever I get here. Never like mine. But
he waters his.
he waters his, and he maybe has a bit more time than me. Oh, right, more fruit. See, this is a great place. Look, little oranges coming. So, and it's the shade. It's a shade giver. So, got a big citrus. I'm not sure what that is, but it's got flowers coming. And then here we're going to the kitchen area. So the outdoor kitchen. I just realised I had my shades on. I'm sorry. People complain about it, but I can't actually see without them. So we've got everything you need. We've got a gas barbecue, or gas rings. We've got a fire barbecue. We've got a bread oven. Again, perfectly usable. Has been used. You want to get in there. I know you like getting in bread ovens for some reason. And they are rather lovely. But you can do anything in there. I mean, they're brilliant for pizza. These days, you just use it for pizza. So rather than go and buy yourself a pizza oven, you've got one already. Stick a chicken in it, whatever you want, it'll cook. We've got a double sink. So you've got everything you need here. Table space. We've got a wooden beam and tiled roof. Double sink. Pizza oven, barbecue, gas rings, and a enclosed storage area. So here, so they've got an extra shade area here. I imagine would accommodate, if you're here, you'd put a big table. And behind me, we go down, so that's the fig tree. We were looking at those figs a minute ago. And then there's stairs here, which show you, do you want to see if you link in? Because underneath the kitchen area we're talking about is the storage area that Paul put his head in, the man cave, as I described it. Okay. So, this area is walled, and then the garden continues up these steps. We've got some lavender, another magnolia that's very much alive. That'll be the irrigation thing next to it that's helping that. Okay, so we've got a lovely flat area here. More fruit trees. I don't know what that, I do know what that is. Gosh, everything's in fruit. It's amazing. There's so many different microclimates here. Oh my word, we're surrounded by fruit. This might just be a fruit video. Okay. Yeah. No, but look, he's disappeared now. I can't show you the fruit. Okay, I wanted that one. Let's do this one. Okay, this is probably an apple. No.
Pear.
Pear. That's a pear. Look, I might eat one of these in a minute. Plums. They're perfect. Okay, I won't get a video of me getting covered in plum juice, but I'll have one in a minute. And these are, I think, what you call persimmons over here. And which are, in English, Sharon fruit. Big squishy things that I'm not sure what you're meant to do with. Mostly make jam. Very, very sweet and gooey.
Yummy.
But in the winter, they look lovely because they look like your natural Christmas decoration. It's like they just look like a big tree with baubles on. They're lovely in the winter. So what have we got here? We've got our boundary. Got our boundary to the neighbour, and this is the boundary to the road at the front. And it's just very, very private because they've grown the plants here. What's this? We've got an, oh look. Do you know what? The we've been doing lots of filming recently. I haven't seen anywhere that all these fruits that are as ripe as this.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? We're actually 45 minutes away from where we live. It's not a huge distance, and everything's...
It's much further on, much riper.
Yeah.
All the fruit.
I'm peckish now. Well, I have to come back for the plums. Right,
No
so...
grumping.
Yes, I will. Hang on a minute, maybe you could turn round. Sorry, I know you. But look, so that's one of the bedroom windows. I'm just going to check it's not the lounge and I've got to get wrong information. No, bedroom. So this is the bedroom that looks out onto the back garden. And...
I think we should call this the orchard.
okay, we shall. We can find the stairs, right. We should return to the orchard quite soon to eat a plum. Right. Am I allowed to go in the house yet?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Nespera, huge Nespera tree above me.
Blah.
A lovely man that looks after the lovely garden. So, covered area. So this is where, again, you've got the view. Obviously the glass has been put in because at times it will be windy whenever you've got a long distance view, usually on a hill. And therefore you get wind. Two things tend to come together. And he's got more plants surviving beautifully. So, I'm going to come through. I can't actually remember which room is which, I'm sorry. Bathroom. Got to be a bedroom. Yes, through to that. I love the layout of this house. It's really unusual. And it's very, I can imagine, as a family home, there's lots of different divisions. It would work. If it was a different location, I'd have this house. Unfortunately, I'm stuck where I am for schooling. Right, come on, you come past me. So, entering the property here, we have, do we start with the bathroom? No, I think we start with the, hang on, he's reversing. No, he's not. The camera's not doing what we want. Going that way. We're turning right, and we're going into the kitchen diner with a beautiful old fireplace. No, turning right, we've come through the door, we've turned right, we're straight into the kitchen. And hopefully the light's working because we couldn't have the light on because it was flickering. What we've got here is, it's solid wood kitchen, really nice quality. So, but it's also got a double sink. There's the space for the dishwasher, the gas cooker, and plenty of storage. Now this, obviously it's a chimney place. If you wanted to put a fire in there, not that you need to because there's one over there, you could. Or it's just been kept as a feature.
Extractor.
Yeah, it's a feature. Oh, and there's the gas, so the gas boiler is plumbed into that flow. And it's not the hugest of kitchens, but it's got everything you need. And also, you can use, obviously you've got this like a breakfast bar between the two areas, if that's what you want. But you've also, right here, got the table. So you've got your dining table. It's a big space here. And we've got a fireplace in the corner. So this is really kitchen, lounge, diner. But there is another huge lounge. So bear that in mind because this isn't your only snug. It's got two lounges, which I think for many families actually works really quite well. So if we carry on through... Oh, I should have mentioned that we can go out. So we've got the double doors out onto the area where we were not long ago. where I'm talking about plants. Okay, so there's the courtyard. There's your outdoor kitchen.
This is lush, isn't it?
It's really nice. I've been wanting to get a video of this place for a while. I just really like the layout. So, are we going to go through and do the bedrooms now? We might as well, because we're at this end. There's two separate areas, aren't there, really? So, the property it's got smaller rooms, but there's nothing stopping you from changing that. Typical Portuguese style, but we've got 4 bedrooms here. And now that one looks into, I haven't drawn the curtains on that one, because that one looks into the second large lounge. Yeah, but it's the only, watch your back, you were going to knock over Jesus. Don't do that. Like quite literally. Okay.
Yeah, knock in there.
Yes, don't. Yeah. So, then we've got a bath.
Jesus is not a good idea.
No, definitely not. Bathroom, very pink. So it's the pink bathroom.
It is.
It's incredibly.
It is
I don't know if you call that pink or red, but whatever it is, it's nice and bright. Obviously, could be modernised, but you could put it's absolutely fine. But you could put a posh new shower in the whole width of that now, wouldn't you? You put one of those big showers in. You've got plenty of space. So here we have the end. Oh, actually, if I come in here, so you can see this is either a double or twin, whichever you want is big enough. Space there for a big wardrobe. Hasn't got one, has got a dressing table instead. And we've got lovely views out of the window. So we're now back at the front of the property. And I realise we haven't shown you the front of the property at all yet, but we will do. So what have we done? We've got 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on one side. Then in the hallway where I'm stood, which I do think you need to manage to get the tiles in. They're hand-painted azulejos, famous in Portugal for these. And the hallway there, although it looks a bit dark, that's the main front door. It's obviously not used, but you can just get an idea because the tiles are lovely. Sometimes you just think, do we keep them or not? These are a keeper, I think. Then in here, we've got opposite another large double. This one must be bigger because it's got the double bed, it's got the bedside table, it's got a double bedside table, and it's got a triple wardrobe. So this is a bigger room.
It's actually a tiny bit bigger. There's not a lot in it if you compare the walls and line the walls up.
No.
It's only a tiny bit bigger, but it does make a difference.
Yeah. And again, you've got your views. Considering you are so close to facilities and you can walk to a cafe and you can actually cycle 1.5 kilometres to a restaurant and 3 kilometres to a pharmacy, it's peaceful, you've got stunning views, it's lovely. So this will be the last bedroom. Actually, I'm lying. I think there's one other on the other side of the property. But anyway, here we go. So this is the one, ta-da, looks out onto the garden. Okay? It could be a double, but probably best to be kept. It could be an office. I mean, you've got loads of space. You have to see, there's an upstairs as well. Right, Paul has already hit his head on this lamp, so let's see if he can avoid it this time. I'm going to go through here. Head. Oh, that was the lamp. Yeah. Right, I'm back through here into this kitchen area, and I'll show you basically what's the other half of the house. Okay, yeah. Come on then, keep coming. I'm getting a pan of the whole room. It's really lovely spaces, it's big. And then coming in here, so this is a more modern, larger bathroom. It's big. You can put a bath. Oh, it's got a bath. Sorry, my mistake. Hiding behind the curtain. I was trying to stay out the camera. But yes, there's a full bathtub there, plus toilet, bidet, large wash basin, single sink. I'm going to get out of the way. And then we come into, I love this. Right, I don't know whether to cover it up or not. It's a pool table.
Yeah, unveil it.
Uncover it. Ta-da! It's a pool table that he also has, you don't know this, but there's a cover for it, so it turns into a dining table.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I've never seen it like that, but he's told me numerous times. So, I'd love a house which is big enough for a pool table. And you've got a second lounge. A really, really big space. And obviously I can't actually see what Paul's looking at the moment, but I imagine you're going to take in the mezzanine, the woodwork, the height of the ceiling. It's really unusual. It's just lovely. And because you've got two divisions, you've basically got your bedrooms and a bathroom and a kitchen over there, but then there's a separate bathroom on this side, as you've just seen. So anyone outside, you know, you're catering outside, you don't have to go through to the bedroom area, you use that bathroom. Then here, so this is the last bedroom, that's what I said. I thought there was one more room. So that's actually your fifth bedroom. Obviously, you might not want to use it as a bedroom, but it's the space you've got. Oh, in fact, do you know what it says on the door? Dispenser. Not classified as a bedroom. Oh, God, I'm falling over. Not classified as a bedroom, it's storage. Obviously, right. Don't get, I'm going up the steps, don't get on my skirt. Up the steps. Paul hopefully can not knock over the wood, or glass bottles. And there's something that I've just noted here that is also quite interesting for the video, but we'll save that for last. So right now, it's just showing you the space. So I can stand up. Paul?
I can stand up in the middle.
You can stand up in the middle. Okay, it's a huge area.
It is really nice though.
It's really nice. You've got the
like
panel.
It's like a kid's paradise.
Absolutely. Or anyone's really. But what I noted, look, I didn't see this before. So, if you look up Tamar and you look up, they have a festival, Tabuleiros, if I'm saying it correctly. It's a tray festival. Portugal manages to have festivals for all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And what happens, this is actually, poor women, because it must weigh a ton, this goes on your head. And and this year we will film it and we'll show you. So there'll be hundreds of people with all different ones of these made up with all different designs. And this is part of the Festival of Tabuleiros. And the streets are lined with all sorts of decorations coming down. It's absolutely beautiful.
I will put some links into the Festival de Tabuleiros in the description.
Okay.
And I'll tag some video of Tomar onto the end of this video after we finish with the house.
Okay. So, you need to get a shot down there because that gives you a really nice overview of the space and the height. And of course, having this height means it's just much cooler downstairs when it's hot because the hot air's got somewhere to go. I really do like the house. I probably need to stop saying that. Here, where the green, okay, it doesn't look the best, but this is the start, this is the width of the garden at the front. And, well, there's no one here. It's very, very peaceful. We've got beautiful valleys, trees, houses, and Tamar in the distance. And this, it's great. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to live here, even if you've got kids in school. Okay, the bus will either come and get you, or it's a 15-minute school run. I mean, I know, for me, I've got a 7-minute school run, but I know lots of my friends in England do. And talk think about the traffic, you'll be used to something probably far worse than that. So here we've got a gate into the garden down the side of the house, and if you can get the full width, because it looks really pretty, blue paint, blue trim, shutters. I think it's a very pretty and attractive property. Oh, they've even got blue rhododendron to match. Okay, so we are, as a summary, We've got just under 180 square metres of build. We've got approximately 2,500 square metres of land with its own water. The property has 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The huge mezzanine area upstairs is not included in those square metres. So actually it's 168 plus the mezzanine that's not included. So you've got more again. It's got its own water. We've covered the location. It's very pretty. I think it's really, really good value. I really do. I don't understand why it hasn't been sold. So I am going to say I hope you've liked to watch the video. I hope it's been informative. I hope one of you comes and buys this house because it's gorgeous. The beautiful fruit trees. I'm going to eat some plums. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Now, I did promise some footage of Tamar, and that is the city of Tamar in the background. But what I actually had in stock here was the fabulous Templar castle. I mean, the whole city is a World Heritage Site, but this castle is just amazing, and it's worth a visit all on its own. But I have a question for everybody. How would you feel if we started doing sort of documentary style videos of the cities and towns close to where we are showing the houses? I mean, would you like us to do some sort of 30-40 minutes videos on the cities and the towns? Here's the gardens, by the way, that are adjacent to the castle. You've got these tiny little, I mean, they're not tall enough to be actual mazes, but they're laid out in a maze style. Now, I sped up the video, so it's a little bit jerky. Apologies for that. Well, Tomar is such a pretty town. I would like to do a video of it, and in the next week or two, they've got the tabuleiros, which we alluded to in the video earlier, and I will chuck a couple of links into the description so you can have a look at that. But I mean, it's just such a wonderful. There's a kids' play area right at the end, which we've taken our kids to for years. I mean, it is just beautiful. Well, that's all from me. So cheerio, everybody. Bye bye.